Hello, I'm William Longfellow, and welcome to Let's Play Super Mario Kart Pro Edition. Today I'll be playing this ROM hack by karterfreak, and I'll provide a link to it in the description for those of you who want to play along. This ROM hack is meant as a further challenge for those who have beaten Super Mario Kart and are looking for something harder. It's a very difficult game. And even this first course is not very easy. You'd think that the very shallow curves would make it a rather easy course to navigate, but actually there's nothing in the original Super Mario Kart quite that long and shallow. So it's a little bit unfamiliar, and also the kart's turns aren't quite built for this type of turn. You see, I have to make a lot of sort of starts of drifts to be able to navigate that properly. It allows me to keep at high speed, but I'm unable to drift long enough to get the full speed boost. And if you get a speed boosting item such as a mushroom or star, you can use it as I did there to make a little shortcut across the sandy parts of the track. You'll notice too that the track is shaped like a mushroom. It's a nice little gimmick, but it's actually a fun course to race on. This ROM hack is very good. It doesn't rely on gimmicks, such as sort of excessive jumps or tracks being shaped like certain things. It provides very good racing. Now this course provides a few forks in the road, and if I decided to go to the right of this fork, I would be able to get some items, and likewise there. But I recommend just staying on the inside as much as possible, because it's quite a bit faster. Now the trick here is being able to take those very quick S-curves without losing any speed. Notice I have to drift and then immediately drift back and space myself right, and there I messed up a little bit. Fortunately, I did well enough in the first few laps so that I'm still in first place here. But in general in this game I have to race a lot more precisely because the computer AI is much more aggressive. The computers race very quickly. If they raced at the speed they did in Super Mario Kart, I'd probably have lapped like half of them. But there are some courses where you can race pretty much at full speed the whole time and the computers will still be very close behind you. And here we have this Ghost Valley course. And unlike some of the Ghost Valley courses, and unlike all the Ghost Valley courses in the original Super Mario Kart, this one is completely covered with these breakable blocks. Now, that is sort of a mixed blessing. It's not a very wide track, as you can see. Not as wide as the ones in Super Mario Kart. It's not narrow per se, but it's very easy if you're trying to race as fast as you can to bump into walls. And if you bump into a wall the wrong way, especially those diagonal walls, you'll lose all your speed, and that's a very bad thing to have happen. Fortunately, I haven't done that yet. That place is a good curve to get a speed boost off a drift, but you have to be careful with the spacing. I'd recommend, if you're pretty far ahead of the computers, trying to race in the middle of the track and avoiding hitting walls at all costs, because that can really be very bothersome. It's possible, for instance, to hit one of the diagonal walls in such a way that if you try to push forward as you would on just sort of a horizontal wall that you might hit, if you jump against the breakable block and try to continue, for instance, you'll just fall into the pit, and that'll slow you down enough for the computers to jump out ahead of you. So I generally think it's a little bit safer if you hit one of those to just sort of turn yourself by hopping repeatedly and slowly work your way out from the wall. But even that loses you a lot of time. Now this ROM hack does use jumps a little bit more than Super Mario Kart, but it uses them tastefully. I played a few ROM hacks that put jumps in pretty much every course. This game uses jumps in probably four or five courses, but they're rather tastefully done. This is a very quick Bowser Castle course, quicker than any of the ones in the original Super Mario Kart. It's looking pretty easy right now, but it's easy to bump into a wall or a thwomp, and the speed you lose allows the computers to catch up. Again, I can race very smoothly, but the computers will always be pretty close behind. I'm actually making some decent distance on Yoshi there. But that won't be the case in all the courses in this game. You can get lots of speed boosts here. Now, there's a bit of a difficulty with that jump. I've found that sometimes when I take it turning, instead of properly jumping, taking the speed boost and jumping over the part of the track, I'll hit the wall and then hit the jump boost, and it'll send me either into the narrow area or backwards, and I won't be able to complete the jump. So I don't know exactly what causes that to happen, but I recommend coming into the jump as straight as possible. And this track, the basic idea of this tracker is you have these two forks. Well, this fork, these two paths you can take. This windy, long S-curve, and the path on the left that starts with one jump and finishes with another jump. And I like taking the S path on the first 4 laps. I think it's just a little bit faster. Now the trick here is to try to jump over those little sandy bits. You notice I've been racing as consistently as I ever did in the original, in my Super Mario Kart Let's Play, but the computers are still really close behind me. Well, you see on this last lap, I'm going to take the other fork because it passes you across the finish line a little bit earlier. And what I do here is I cut off right there and try not to lose control like that, and that way I pass the finish line well before Yoshi does. Yoshi's caught up to me partly because your character slows down when he passes the finish line, but you can see I finished a full 3 seconds before Yoshi did. Now I made that seem easier than it is. I was a little bit lucky this time, but the rest of the tracks in the game are even more difficult, and we'll see if I can keep up the first places. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode.